Good morning, everybody. I'm going to follow up on the work we have done and what's available to complement what Vicente said and some other thoughts as well. We have to understand that presbyopia cannot be cured. And as we've heard before, our patients wear glasses, contacts, multifocal or bifocal or trifocal, intraocular lenses, corneal inlays, or presbylasic. These are the options. So, solving the presbyopia problem is potential to transform many lives, and that is why presbyopia correction is referred to as the holy grail of refractive surgery. What we are aiming is, of course, to avoid the use of eyeglasses, contacts, or invasive surgery. The mechanisms have been described. It's complex, and we do not fully understand it. I'm not going to go into that too in depth. This is a famous slide where we show the near point of accommodation at different ages. If I looked at the reviews of what's been written about presbyopia and pharmacological correction, I found only 4 papers underlining the difficulty of finding a topical treatment for presbyopia. And I searched, and there are, this is a,
sorry.
No, it was a big task, and so I collected all the information from all these documents that have been written about it. We have a choice of active principles, stimulating the parasympathetic innervation and increasing the depth of focus through meiosis. And accommodation, as we've heard before, induced by the parasympathetic, was perhaps associated with prolongation and potentiation of these effects by the alpha agonists. So we have to understand the anatomy. The ciliary muscle is predominantly under parasympathetic control, sympathetic innervation playing a minor role in relaxation only. And the ciliary muscle contains muscarinic 3 acetylcholine receptors. Iris is under the influence of the parasympathetic system. Cholinergic stimulation of the M3 receptors on the iris sphincter muscle causes meiosis. Conversely, the iris dilator muscle is sympathetically innervated and contains alpha adrenergic receptors. If these receptors are antagonized, it allows the parasympathetically, these are very difficult words, innervated pupillary sphincter to predominate, since it is unopposed, and this in turn results in meiosis. And meiosis, as we all know, and certainly we'll talk about extended depth of vision later on. The facts. Smaller aperture optics have long been known to increase near visual acuity by increasing the extended depth of vision. Peripheral light waves are most distorted. Central light reaching the retina will result in more clear vision and increase the EDOF, extended depth of vision. For a pharmacological treatment to be successful, it must create meiosis and have a long-lasting effect, minimum 7 to 9 hours. Muscarinic agonists with non-steroidal inflammatory agents, NSAIDs. The rationale is that a muscarinic agonist causes the ciliary muscle to contract and cause meiosis, resulting in an increase of EDOF and pseudo-accommodation. NSAID is used to decrease spasmodic ciliary contraction, pigment dispersion, and posterior synechiae formation secondary to parasympathetic drug like the Benozzi. Muscarinic agonists with sympathetic agonists. The rationale. Carbachol is a parasympathomimetic agent, and unlike pilocarpine, is a full agonist that also promotes release of acetylcholine from the parasympathetic nerve endings. Additionally, its carbamate structure means it may also inhibit cholinesterase enzymes. So in terms of inducing meiosis, the most commonly used strength of carbachol is 2.25%, which is equivalent in effect to about 3% of pilocarpine. Brimonidine is an alpha-2 receptor agonist and exhibits pupillary reaction and can produce significant meiosis. The availability of this is questionable. Brimonidine gives an allergic reaction used for glaucoma treatment, and Blondeau found the allergic incidence to be as high as 25.7% in patients with glaucoma. I'm not going to go into depth of this because we will hear about it later on, but this is self-explanatory. What you have to bear in mind, though, is that there are numerous high-order aberrations, but only 3 apply to us when it comes for clinical interest, and that is spherical aberration, coma, and trefoil. What you have to bear in mind also is that doubling pupil diameter increases spherical aberration 16 times. Thus, a small change in pupil size can cause a significant change in refraction. A completely different approach for the pharmacological treatment of presbyopia consists of targeting the crystalline lens, the anchor. We heard about this, so I go very quickly through this, and Vicente explained very nicely how it works. There are, however, some unanswered questions about this method. Does the effect diminish with time? We don't know. The treatment is supposed to last around 90 days, and what happens after that? With continuous usage, are larger doses required later on? We don't know about that. And so on and so on. The list is very long, and there are some doubts about this. So what is if we now look at the FDA and what is under current investigation today? We have the liquid vision presbyopia therapies, binocularly instilled, miotic agents. Onset of action is approximately 30 minutes. A complement to existing presbyopia treatments, such as glasses and contact lenses, rather than a permanent replacement. Some patients reported a dimming effect, but it resolved after the first few days. And they are in FDA phase 2B trial is underway to evaluate it. Now you have to understand when we say phase 2B, what is the target? The target is that the FDA requires from best corrected distance vision, near vision acuity, and that is 3 lines. Take it or leave it. You can't do any compromises. This is what they do. So, they drop spectacle lenses, best corrected distance vision, and you've got to be able to improve 3 lines. That is the target. Dynamic cellular accommodation from our friends in Colombia, we've heard a lot about that, contains 0.247 pilocarpine and a lot of other stuff. Onset of action is 5 to 10 minutes, so it's faster than the previous one. And they talk about dynamic pseudo-accommodation. A trial involving 60 patients in Europe is about to start. As far as I know, they have not applied for any application for FDA or further. Then it's our drop. Where do we stand today? We've talked about it so much, so I will just very briefly say that we are about to start the phase 2B investigations now, and our aim is what I told you about before. The Nazi method I don't need to go into, because Joanna talked about it. We have the Presby Plus. It's a mixture of two parasympathomimetics with one parasympatholytic, and it's instilled bilaterally. Clinical trial that followed patients for 1 year showed that 90% could see from Jaeger 4 to Jaeger 1 after using drops with no adverse effects. And this is Roberto Pinelli's drop. Anchor, I've talked about before, and we don't know, they should have been here, but they withdrew the paper, the presentation, for unknown reasons. I leave it up to you to think about it. It's no question about it. There is a consumer demand here. For an eye drop for presbyopia, it's high enough that it's a supported sale of non-prescriptive drops that allegedly fix this issue. We have the Bright Eyes drops from the Atos Group and Blur Relief from the Relief products. Sorry. They are considered to be homeopathic eye drops, and they sell for almost $100 and $11 per bottle respectively. In addition, improving near vision topical presbyopia drops may also address aberrations dependent on pupil size, including mild levels of myopia, hyperopia, and astigmatism. Likewise, they may help patients with symptomatic high-order aberrations, including those arising from past refractive eye surgery. So the conclusions. Despite the lack of completely well-understood mechanism, pharmacological control of presbyopia seems to be a possible and very attractive alternative for presbyopic patients. There are only two approaches: generating an increase of extended depth of vision or lens softening. And I put the question mark on that. And to finish off with presbyopia eye drops are in sight. Thank you very much for your kind attention.